future biologist. Welcome to Cosmic Editing. I'm Dr. Priyanka, a channel where we discuss everything from biology to biotechnology. We had started with this series called as Immunology Deconstructed, where we discuss about the various concepts in immunology. Today I'm here with a yet new fresh concept, that is the innate immune system. So let's get started with the concept of innate immune system, which is your body's first line of defense. The innate immune system is ever ready to fight against the infection. It works on the two main principles, that is the speed and non-specificity. So it recognizes and attacks anything that is foreign immediately, but the problem is it lacks the memory which is present in the adaptive immune system. So we shall see the very first components of innate immune system, that is the physical and the chemical barriers. So when we talk about barriers, something that is going to avoid or that is going to prevent the enemy from entering inside the body. So that work is done by these two barriers. So we can think of it like the fencing that is present around a house, which do not allow the cattle or anything stray to enter inside the house. Barrier include the skin, the mucosal membranes, the dry and the acidic environment of the skin, and combined with the multi-layered structures, it acts as the primary block and which does not allow the foreign material, the pathogens, the microbes to enter inside the body. And talking about the mucosal surfaces which are lined with cilia, the hair-like projections, they entrap the pathogens or any sort of foreign material that has entered into the system, and it tries to propel it outside or expel it outside through the peristaltic or the ciliary sweeping movement. Talking about the chemical barriers, they are equally vital. Lysozyme in the tears and saliva break down the bacterial cell wall. The extremely low pH in the stomach, it normally kills any ingested microbes. Tissue level, small antimicrobial peptides which are called as defensins, they insert into and disrupt the microbial membranes, thus getting rid of the foreign invaders in the body. If a pathogen breaches these two barriers, then what is next? We have a cellular army fully mobilized which can take care of the foreign pathogens. Backbone of the innate cellular response is called as phagocytosis, a process in which the cell starts eating up or taking up the foreign invader in the body, thus eliminating the pathogens. Let's take one example at a time. So now we will see what are neutrophils. So neutrophils, they are the most abundant white blood cells present in the circulation. They act as the shock troops. They are the first one to arrive at the site of infection, and they try to engulf or phagocytose the foreign material. Let's talk about the second type of phagocytes. They are called as the macrophages. Now these are tissue resident veterans. Level of graduation and post-graduation, we differentiate them in two categories based on the activation states. Let's first talk about the M1 macrophages. These are activated by interferon gamma and the LPS. They are pro-inflammatory and are highly microbicidal. So now talking about the M2 macrophages, they are activated by cytokines like the interleukin 4, interleukin 13, etc. And they act as anti-inflammatory, promoting tissue repair and wound healing. We shall talk about the dendritic cells, commonly called as DC. Potent APCs, or what we call as antigen presenting cells. We shall make a separate video on antigen presentation so that the doubts are more clear. So these dendritic cells, when they mature, they migrate to the lymph nodes to begin with the next part, that is the activation and These dendritic cells, they mature and migrate to the lymph node where the process of activation occurs. Next are the innate cells that don't primarily participate in phagocytosis, the natural killer cells. Now these natural killer cells are large granular lymphocytes which are essential for surveillance against the viruses and the tumor cells. So the natural killer cells, they possess two types of receptors. One is the activating receptor and second one is the inhibitory receptor. So depending on what they have sensed and what they have found on their way, the receptors will be activated. Inhibitory receptors, they recognize the MHC class 1 molecules and which are normally present on the healthy cells. So that's why the inhibitory receptors, because they know it is something that is required. And the viruses often downregulate the MHC1. And when they downregulate these MHC1s, they hide. They cannot be seen by the cytotoxic T cells. So the natural killer cells sees that MHC1 is missing. And hence the inhibitory signal is lost and it proceeds towards the killing of the infected cells then using perforin and the granzymes. So we shall do a separate video where we will talk about specifically about the MHC or what is called as the major histocompatibility complexes. Finally, we have the new kid on the block, which are called as the innate lymphoid cells or the ILCs. They are distinct from T and the B cells, but they almost mirror their functions and they are categorized into three varieties based on the cytokines that they secrete. So, acting as a rapid innate counterparts to the T helper cell subset. Finally, let us talk about the most important one, that is the complement system. Now, as the name complement, so complement is something that is completing each other, right? Same way, this complement systems do the same thing, but it is on a defense mechanism. This complement system, it's a cascade of plasma proteins which are present in the circulation, but they are in the dormant or the naive state. So they will get activated only when a particular signal comes into picture. And all this, the complement system is basically divided into three types, that is the lectin pathway, alternate pathway and the classical pathway, but all of them converge at the same point. Three main outcomes which occur in case of complement system. One is opsonization, inflammation and the last one is the lysis. So again, complement system needs justice and it can be done only by doing a separate video where we can discuss about each cycle separately. So that's for your rapid response system. We have covered almost the important concepts which are related to innate immune system. We will come back again with yet another part in which we will discuss about the adaptive immune system. So till then, keep watching and smiling. All the best.